Welcome to this week's Get to Know a Teacher. Today we have Natalie Huling. She is teaching first grade at Winkley, and I know if you are new to Winkley, you might be thinking, wait, my kindergartner has Mrs. Huling, and that is not who he has or who she has. Nope, this one is our first grade Natalie, Mrs. Huling. So we are so excited to have you, and we have 10 questions that everyone's going to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Number one is, what would students be surprised to find out about you?
So I thought about this a lot, and I actually have two different things. One thing I thought I would share is that I am a music lover. I love going to concerts. They are my favorite thing in the entire world. So I've actually traveled to many states all over the United States to go to concerts, especially country music, but I'll go for anything that's fun. But I love traveling and going and hearing concerts all over anywhere that good music is. And then something else that I thought was interesting that people might want to know is that I actually met my husband my first year teaching on the playground, which is kind of funny. He was friends with one of my students' parents and came to pick up a little boy in my class one day, and the rest was history. we met and we went on a date, and then we got married. So
such a fun story.
Yes.
You never know who you'll meet on a playground.
Never.
All right, number two, how do you spend your summer breaks?
So I am a beach lover. So anytime I can get to the beach, I am gone. So we tend to travel. Sometimes we'll just go down to the Texas beaches, or we also like to explore different islands. So we've been to a few places in the Caribbean, and we're trying to check them all off our bucket list. So we're usually on vacation somewhere on the beach during the summer.
I'll go with you. All right, number three, what are some traditions or superstitions you have for the first day of school?
So this one, I don't really have many superstitions. I do have 3 kids of my own, so I think traditions for our family would just be making sure we have our outfits picked out the night before, and making sure that we take our pictures the morning of, and our lunches are made. So that's kind of what I do at home. But then I think my one main tradition at school is reading the book First Day Jitters to my kids. It's always funny for them to see that who they think is a student in the book the whole time eventually winds up being the teacher. And it's nice for the kids to know that teachers get nervous about the first day of school also, just like they do.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes.
All right, number 4, is there an embarrassing teaching moment you are willing to share?
Well, I couldn't really think of anything specific on this one, but for me, every day is embarrassing just because, I teach the little bitties kindergarten. I've taught kindergarten first and second, and, we're dancing and we're singing and we're doing raps, and it's just, for me, it's kind of embarrassing, but the kids don't care and they get a kick out of it. So there's nothing specific, just being silly every day. Sometimes it's funny when people walk in the room and see me dancing.
Yeah. All right, number 5, at the beginning of the year, how do you remember all of your students' names?
So obviously, because of COVID, this year was a little different, and we had Zoom, and so it made it so much easier to be able to just look on the names on the bottom. But in a normal non-COVID year, we do a lot of name games, get to know you activities in the beginning of the school year, rhyming with each other's names. So that tends to help. And then also I try to identify students' names with someone I know or someone that they remind me of, and it helps me remember them that way.
All right, number 6, if you could take your students on a field trip anywhere in the world, where would you take them?
This one was hard because there's just so many places in the world that I would love to visit on my own. But just thinking of the places that I've been, there's a vacation place actually here in Texas that we go to. It's just a large ranch that we go to every year with our family, but it's just somewhere that I wish that every child could experience, because there's anything and everything from animals to nature to swimming to fishing to kayaking, canoeing, and it's my personal children. They look forward to it every single summer, and I feel like it's somewhere that I wish I could take every kid to experience. Just that love of being in the outdoors. But like I said, there are so many wonderful places that I could think of otherwise in the world, but
Yeah.
practicality wise, that would be the one.
It sounds like a day of traditional play, which we often miss out on.
Yes, definitely.
All right, number 7, what is your first memory from school?
So my first memory is that I actually started school here in Austin. And a couple months after school started, my dad was relocated for his job, so they moved to Waco. And I remember, walking into school the first day of my new school, not knowing anyone, and sitting next to my best friend, Brooke, who is actually still one of my very best friends today. And we just instantly bonded and have stayed friends ever since. And I just remember sitting down next to her and her comforting me and saying, it's going to be okay. You're gonna be fine. So she was in my wedding, and we're still very best friends today.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yes.
All right, number 8, if you could grow up in any decade, which would you choose?
So I had a little range in between the 30s and the 40s. I'm a very old soul, and I love just the simplicity of the way things were back then. And I also love the fashion. So I think sometime between the 30s and the 40s would have been where I would have wanted to grow up.
Nice. And number 9, is there a quote or saying you live your life by?
Yes. So I heard this quote many years ago, and it just stuck with me. And it said, let whatever you do today be enough. And I love that, because I feel like everyone in life just works so hard and wants to just be the best at everything. And at the end of the day, you have to just know that whatever you do is enough, as long as you're putting your best effort into it. So that's something that I teach my kids in my class every year, and I talk to my own family about, and I try to remember that myself as well, not to be too hard on ourselves.
Yeah, that's beautiful. All right, and our last question. In which other teacher's class would you like to enroll even for a day, and why?
So this one was so hard, because I honestly feel like every single teacher at this school is amazing, and I would love to be in every one of their classes. But I'm choosing Mr. Beard, because my daughter is in his class, and every single day she comes home laughing and giggling about something that he did, because he is so funny. And I just would love to be in there and get to witness all of his shenanigans in his classroom with him. So I love hearing how happy he makes her. It's
That's
great.
awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing fills your heart more than to hear your kids actually come home and tell you stories about school.
Yes, and enjoy it, for sure.
Well, thank you for sharing with us. It's fun to get to know you.
This was fun. I love it.
Bye.
Bye.